What's up, y'all? Today I'm going to be doing a first time hearing reaction video to the song called Fall by Eminem. It's from his 2018 album called Kamikaze. And this is a very new song for me because I missed a lot of M songs during his later years of his career. But let's get into this one and see what's up.
Fuck, really? What the fuck?
So yo, man, we going to the studio or what?
Yeah, let's go. Hold on. I keep getting fucking alerts on my phone.
Alerts?
Yeah, like articles and shit. Like Eminem completely phones in his verse. Like, man, fuck this.
What's wrong with him? Man, you gotta stop looking at that shit, bro. God damn.
He throws his phone on the ground.
Everybody's been telling me what they think about me for the last few months. Maybe it's time I tell them what I think about them.
This is a sick beat.
Gotta concentrate against the clock I race. Got no time to waste, I'm already late. I got a marathoner's pace.
Okay, so this is interesting. So the first line, he's like, I gotta concentrate against the clock I race. Got no time to waste, I'm already late. I got a marathoner's pace. So what that means is that in regards to like a marathoner's pace, marathoners have to pace themselves to keep up in a race. And Eminem's been in the game for over 20 years now. And so he's kind of like got the marathoner's pace, and he's not trying to do a sprint. So he's trying to, like, his meaning is that he's trying to be in this game for a long time. That's what's up. Let's get it.
Went from addict to a workaholic, word to Dr. Dre. And
So this is interesting because he goes straight up. Like, he tells you that, like, before he started his career with Dr. Dre, he was an addict and he was struggling financially and struggling with life in general and all this stuff. And he went from being an addict to drugs and stuff like that to a workaholic. So there's someone who's an addict to work and work to Dr. Dre. And we all know Dr. Dre is very known for his strong work ethic, and he's always striving to make his songs come out just right. Let's get it.
that first marijuana tape, yes, I got a chronic case. And I ain't just blowing smoke, less is in your mama's face. I know this time Paul and Dre, they won't tell me what not to say. And know me and my party days have all pretty much parted ways. You swear to God I forgot him, the God it made, not afraid. One last time for Charlemagne, if my response is late, it's just how long it takes to hit my fucking radar. I'm so far away, these rappers are...
Okay, so there's a lot here. I'm gonna try to unpack it for y'all. So he's like, and though me and my party days have all pretty much parted ways. If you guys remember, in 2007, M almost died of an accidental methadone overdose, and that from that point on, he tried to like get on his path towards sobriety. And you know, in a 2009 interview, he was saying that at one point he was using 10 to 20 Valium and Ambien pills a day. Then on his album Recovery, the track on it called Not Afraid, M made clear that he's done with like beefs. He's not going to beef from now on. Now he's realizing that he might actually have to break that promise, and because he's about to be in the drama again. So he comes out with this track called Not Afraid on his album Recovery, and in that track he made a clear promise that he's done with like beefing. So he said no more beef, no more drama from now on. But now he's realizing that he's breaking that promise, since Fall is a diss track aimed at many rappers, including Joe Budden. Eminem is about to be in the drama again, despite being sober, of Dr. Dre's advice and all the support that he got from Paul as well. He goes on to say, one last time for Charlemagne, if my response is late, it's just how long it takes to hit my radar, I'm so far away. So this is hard because he's like, yo, and this is aimed at Charlemagne. Charlemagne's that guy. He's like the host of, he's one of the hosts on the Breakfast Club radio show. And Eminem's apologizing for his late response by saying that he's so far above the criticism that it takes forever to reach him. And this is the second time that Eminem mentions Charlamagne's criticism. In the first track on Kamikaze, which is called The Ringer, M says that Charlamagne gonna hate anyway, doesn't matter what I say. And so this addresses Charlamagne's criticism of him. Let's get it.
Like Hunger Games, 1 minute they're mocking Jay, next minute they get their style from Migos, so they copy Drake. Maybe I just don't know when to turn around and walk away.
Over here he's saying that these newer rappers are like Hunger Games. 1 minute they're mocking Jay, next minute they get their style from Migos or they copy Drake. Let me unpack this for you guys. So M compares new artists to the Hunger Games trilogy, which is about 24 different contestants fighting to the death until only one remains. The line is a play on the word mocking Jay, which is the final installment of the Hunger Games trilogy. In the book, a mocking jay is a bird that imitates sounds, another link to the copying of other rappers. Here, M is alluding to artists copying Jay-Z as well as their styles of Migos and Drake. Let's get it.
But all the hate, I call it walk on Watergate. I've had as much as I can tolerate. I'm sick and tired of waiting. I done lost my patience. I can take all of you motherfuckers on it once. You want it shady? You got it.
Don't fall on my face.
Yeah.
Don't fall on my face. Don't fall on my face.
Line 'em up.
Don't fall on my face. Don't fall on my face.
Somebody tell Button before I snap, he better fasten it. Or have his body bag and zip. The closest thing he's had to hits are smacking bitches. And don't make me have to give it back to academics. Say this shit is trash again. I'll have you twisted like you had it when you thought you had me. Slipping at the telly, even when I'm getting brain, you'll never catch me with a thought.
Alright, so there's a lot here. Eminem hits back at Joe Budden. He says, somebody tell Budden before I snap, he better fasten it. So he's kind of like, he's relating the word button to the word button, where you can snap a button or fasten a button, and even zip. The word zip has that kind of a connotation to it where you can zip something closed or open. He says, somebody tell Budden before I snap, he better fasten it or have his body bag get zipped. The closest thing he's had to hits is smacking bees. And so he's saying that the only thing that Budden had close enough to hit is actually physically hitting women. So this goes back to the domestic violence charges that Joe Budden received in 2014. And it was alleged that he beat up his ex-girlfriend, he stole her phone while choking her, all that stuff. Even though the charges were dropped in 2016 due to the lack of evidence, M's bringing this back up and throwing it back onto Budden. Now, then he's like, yo, don't make me have to give it back to Academics. And so Academics is a DJ, and he's another host from the show Everyday Struggle. DJ Academics said that Revival was trash when it was released. He also said that M was caught with a thought when a video of him and a younger woman in a hotel room surfaced online. This turned out to be a promotional video for the River music video. And so M flips this misconception into a double entendre, saying that he wouldn't be caught with a thought, which is a homophone of the word thought, as in thinking, even while getting, you know what I'm saying. So, let's get it.
Lacking with it, he ain't spitting like this on his last shit. Oh, you better go back and listen, you know me better. Thinking I'll slow a let up, call it trap, cause it's a total setup. Hoping that you rappers falling that. Drake said, hold your head up. Kathy Griffin stacking ammunition, slap the clip and cock it back on competition. This is how I shot ahead. Gabby Gifford, my attack is vicious. Jack the Ripper back in business. Tyler create nothing. I see why you called yourself a bitch.
So here he says, my attack is vicious, Jack the Ripper back in business. So M's comparing himself to Jack the Ripper, who was a very stealthy serial killer in history. And he's kind of like saying that he metaphorically kills any other rapper in the field. And so since Jack the Ripper's already like dead, he says my attack is vicious, Jack the Ripper back in business. This refers to him being revived again back as Eminem. And so what's also interesting here is that Jack the Ripper's first victim was killed on August 31st, which was the same day that this album was released. Also happens to be the same day as Joe Budden's birthday. Let's get it.
Not just cause you lack attention, it's because you worship the 12 balls. You're sacrilegious. If you're gonna critique me, you better at least be as good or better. Get all the hood is wetter.
He says, look, if you're going to critique me, you better at least be as good or better than me. Let's get it.
His name is to help you put together some words, more than just 2 letters. The fans waited for this moment, like that feature when I stole the show. Sorry if I took forever.
Fall on my face.
Yeah.
Don't fall on my face. Don't fall on my face.
Line 'em up.
Don't fall on my face. Don't fall on my face.
Too easy. Just remember, I was here before you, and I'll be here after you. Make you running for you. Detract.
So over here he says, look, just remember I was here before you and I'll be here after you, make your running for you. So over here, M's addressing new rappers like Migos or Lil Pump. And these are the newer rappers. And M was here way before these rappers were. After seeing other rappers come and go for more than 20 years, M's not afraid of the current competition. And it's very interesting because M is taking on a lot of people left, right, and center. Let's get it.
Practice, I'ma have to fuck pitchfork with a corkscrew. Just what the doctor ordered. Revenge is the best medicine. Increase the dose from least to most, and then tell the Grammys to go and fuck themselves. They suck the blood from all the biggest artists like some leeches, so they nominate them, get them there, get a name to MC to show. Every parasite needs a host. Then give album of the year to somebody that no one's ever even heard of. All I know is.
So this is kind of deep because it goes. This is deep and kind of long because he's like. He calls out the Grammys and he's like, yo, these guys are nothing but like parasites and stuff like that. They suck the blood of all the biggest artists like some leeches. So they nominate him, get him there, get a name to MC the show. Every parasite needs a host. That's very high level skill that he's demonstrating here. And so he's saying that he's kind of like calling out the Grammys and saying that these guys are nothing but parasites who exploit the success of the biggest music artists to promote the minor and less deserving artists that the voters want to win. Let's get it.
I wrote every single word of everything I ever murdered. Time to separate the sheep from goats. And I got no faith in your writers. I don't believe in ghosts. When rap needed it most.
He says, I got no faith in your writers. I don't believe in ghosts. He says, all I know is I wrote every single word of everything I ever murdered. Time to separate the sheep from goats. And I got no faith in your writers. I don't believe in ghosts. So he's saying that he doesn't use ghostwriters. Ghostwriters are people who write your songs for you. And you just sing them as a rapper or musician, artist, as a rapper. And he's saying that he doesn't believe in ghosts. He doesn't have faith in them. They're not even that good compared to what he can write himself. Let's get it.
I was that wing in the prayer, a beacon, a hope, the B-I-R-D in the air. Somewhere some kid is bumping this while he lip syncs in the mirror. That's who I'm doing it for. The rest I don't really even care. But you would think I'm carrying an Oxford dictionary in my pocket. How I'm burying these artists on a scale that turns your minus as various as hardly. And what's scary is you probably can compare me to your car, cause I'm just barely getting started.
Ouch. This guy, you just killed the track. All right. What he's saying is that you would think I'm carrying an Oxford dictionary in my pocket. How I'm burying these artists on a scale of turnt, you're minus. Mine says very, yours says hardly. And what's scary is you probably can compare me to your car because I'm just barely getting started. So according to a study in 2015, Eminem has the biggest vocabulary in the music industry. He's used over 8,800 unique words throughout his entire discography. And then he says that you probably can compare me to your car because I'm just barely getting started. So he's saying that these rappers, they ain't got that much money, so their cars are all like old and dysfunctional, and they're barely getting started when you try to turn them on. And he's comparing that to how he's just like playing him out hard lyrically in his raps, that he's just getting started with this process. Let's get it.
In Forest, Lord Jamar, you better leave me the hell alone, or I'll show you an Elvis clone. Walk up in this house you own, cross my pelvic bone, use your telephone, then go fetch me the remote. Put my feet up and just make myself at home. I belong here, clown. Don't tell me about the culture. I inspired the Hobsons, the Logics, the Coles, the Sean's, the K-Dots, the 5 9s and O. Brought the world 50 Cent. You did squat, piss and moan, but I'm not gonna fall.
So this is a very cold line that he directs to Lord Jamal, and he says, Lord Jamal, you better leave me the hell alone or I'll show you an Elvis clone. He's like, don't tell me about the culture. I inspired the Hobsons, the Logics, the Coles, the Seans, the K-Dots, the 5 9s, and brought the world 50 Cent. You did pretty much nothing. And so over here, I think Lord Jamal was like criticizing Eminem on DJ Vlad's show and saying that he's like not really part of the culture because if he's white. So Lord Jamar say that M's not really part of the culture, but M points out that he had a massive impact on the culture. Actually names the rappers that he influenced in the culture, from Logic to J. Cole, Big Sean, Kendrick Lamar, Royce the 5'9", Hobson, etc. Alright, let's get it.
Bitch.
Can't hear it coming down the hallway. It stands from a parking lot. It's so loud. Please don't cry.
This beat is fire.
All up in it so fast.
So he jumps out the window, looks up, he steps on the CD. You see what CD that is, can't see it, what CD that is. Oh right, I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction video and learned a lot about this track. This is a very interesting track. The beat was sick. He's addressing many different rappers. He talks about his influence on the culture. He talks about how he's just starting to get back into putting all these rappers in their places, so to speak. This video was actually the first video to be released from the Kamikaze album. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.